Hi everyone, this is part 2 of bun pain. So what happens to your buns when you play pickleball? First, let's talk about buns of steel or spongy buns. If you're playing an hour or two a day, and then you're going home and sitting the rest of the day, most likely you have spongy buns. How do you know if you have spongy buns? Here are a couple of quick ways to figure it out. First of all, when you're standing up with your feet about hip width apart, you pretend you're holding a $100 bill in between your buns. Now the idea is to squeeze the buns as hard as you can and then poke on both sides of your buns. Are they still spongy or are they hard as steel? So do you have spongy buns or do you have buns of steel? The whole idea is you need strong buns in order to dink, in order to move sideways, in order to live your life and support your upper body. The buns need to be very strong. So let's take a picture of the glutes. There are 3 of them. Glute medius, glute maximus, glute minimus, and they attach at the side of your leg, or the greater trochanter. Now, those are the outside of your buns that make the whole bun of steel or spongy buns. What those do, one, is they turn your legs outward or they turn your legs inward and they support your hamstrings. If you have tight hamstrings and weak buns, that means every time you bend over to dink, your buns are not holding you upright and you're having to bend your back. Also, when you step out to one side of your body, moving across the no-volley line, moving across the court, every time you step sideways or sideways, if your buns aren't strong, they don't support the move that you're making in pickleball. And what that means to you is your glutes are not holding you strength-wise as you're moving around the court. So as they get weaker and weaker, which they all do as you get older, if you're not working your buns every single day, you're gonna get spongy buns. So they start to grab and they start to lock down because they're trying to support the bones in your body. So that's one of the issues. Also, when you walk, if you step off the curb, did you know that 3 times your body weight actually goes into your hip sockets? So that means if your glutes don't support you when you're stepping off the curb, that means all the shock absorption goes into your hip socket, weakening your bones, and it also goes all the way up your back and into your neck. So, buns of steel are very important. Now, piriformis, and this is the piriformis muscle. It attaches at the SI joint, which is the sacroiliac joint, and it attaches also to the greater trochanter. This turns your legs outward. So let's talk about why your legs might be turned outward or why your hips are turned outward. If you're carrying weight in your stomach, the weight in your stomach presses down on the muscles in the front of your body and presses down into your bones, like carrying a baby or carrying groceries in your arm. What winds up happening is your legs have to turn outward in order to accommodate for the weight that is in front of your body. When you carry this extra weight and your legs turn out, what winds up happening is the piriformis muscle locks down to hold the weight that you're carrying up. So if you read about pregnancy, you know that the psoas and the piriformis muscle in pregnant women are locked in place, and they cannot be massaged or released because that's what's helping to support the baby. It's no different than if you were overweight. This piriformis muscle locks down. Also, the sciatic nerve comes out of your back and either goes through this piriformis or it goes right on top of it and goes down your leg. So if the piriformis muscle is tight, what will happen, it will squeeze off the sciatic nerve. And by squeezing off the sciatic nerve, it will radiate down your buns, down your leg, down the side of your leg, into your foot. So, I have definitely had terrible sciatic problems. And I have learned a whole bunch of stretches that I have to do for my piriformis and for my buns, and I have to do it every single day. So let me show you a couple of the exercises. So I'm going to have to tilt the camera down like so. Let's see if that's going to work. I'm not sure that's going to work. Hang on, I'm trying to tilt the camera. Okay. All right, so let's see what this is all about. I am seated on a chair, which is easy to do. You take your left foot and put it across your right knee. Now, I understand that some people have knee problems, so you can put it across your shin. But the goal is to get this knee parallel to the floor. So since I can get it across my knee, that's where it's going to be. Most of the people I work with have their knee up in the air. That knee will tell you that your glute and your piriformis are too tight, and that's what's causing the hip pain. If you are flexible, that knee should be parallel to the floor. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm breathing out and I'm working the knee up and down in order to get it looser in my hip. So I'm doing a glute and piriformis exercise, okay? Once I get the knee down, I'm gonna lean forward. That increases the stretch. So I'm holding on to the chair and I'm gently rocking forward and I'm breathing out and breathing out and breathing out. Now I'm going to change legs and show you. If you notice, this leg is significantly higher. This is my piriformis, glute, and IT band leg. It doesn't want to loosen up. So maybe twice a day, I actually have to do this stretch on the floor. So I'm trying to get the leg down. If I can't get it down, there's no point to rocking forward. The whole idea is to breathe and try to loosen up the hip. So I pull it up and press it down, pull it up and press it down, and I keep working it while I'm watching TV and breathing out, because the idea is to have both of these legs parallel to the floor. Now, I'm also going to get on the floor, but you can also do these exercises on your bed, because I understand how difficult it is to do floor exercises if it's uncomfortable getting on and off the floor. So let's see if I can give you some floor exercises. Okay, so I'm on the floor, here I go, and I'm moving my legs side to side in a seated position, trying to loosen up my hips. Then I straighten one leg and I drop the other one down. So I'm gonna lay down and do this. So I'm working to get this leg close to the floor, as close as I can. If it's up like this, you automatically know your hips are too tight, your piriformis is too tight. The next exercise, bend your knees, feet on the floor, and I'm just gonna rock my hips side to side, just like so. And I breathe out when I rotate. Breathe out when I rotate. I do this every morning and every evening. Now I start to hold it a little longer and hold it a little longer. And that's also working all my hip muscles and my hip flexors. Breathing out, breathing out, and breathing out. And then I hold it and try to pull it down. I hold it and try to pull it down. This is a little more aggressive. Then from this position, I'll rock and try to open up my hip. And then I'll try to pull it down. That's my left. And I'll try to open up my right leg. And I'm pushing and gently stretching. Change legs again. I pull the right knee down, and then I try to open up that left leg. I pull the right knee down, and I try to open up the left leg. So, those are some of your bun stretches. I highly recommend you do them every single day, even on the days you don't play pickleball, because it's really important to stretch your hips. Remember, flexibility is the key to not getting injured when you play pickleball.